Hey, man, it's another offseason, and everybody's already mad that Lamar ain't won another Super Bowl. Dog, OTAs just started, and in 1 week, we've had like a Jaylen Herz smudge piece, and now we worried about whether or not Lamar Jackson showing up for the first day of OTAs. No, it's getting ridiculous, Chad.
Why those two guys?
Like, it's getting ridiculous.
Those two, specifically.
I know, because they black quarterbacks that ball. I guarantee you Randall Cunningham was around. You know how Vic got covered. That's what it is, man. It's that talent. It's the both sides of it. I always joke, if you look at the Hall of Famers quarterbacks, they 6'5" white boys. But then you get the Cunninghams and you get the Vics and you get those little and people want to criticize them.
And you think about this from the standpoint, the only African-American quarterback that I could think of offhand is Warren Moon.
Yeah.
Moon?
He didn't play in the way that guys are playing now, or like Randall Cunningham and Vic.
Yeah, and even Pep and them, like, they get criticized heavy. Like, we have to be naive about it. Why is Lamar covered different than Josh Allen? Because they are both super athletic and have a gun. Why are they covered different? Let's not be naive about it, fellas. Like, we know why it is. And then Lamar, he had to change coaches. What's his name? Munkin?
Mm-hmm.
Munkin's now in Cleveland and all that stuff. So they're trying to figure it out with Lamar, but you have one of the best talents. But, man, I always laugh about these OTAs. That's the funny thing. The OTAs, off-season. What's OTA stand for? Optional training activities?
Off-season.
Off-season.
But, yeah, it is optional, though.
Who cares if that boy shows up to OTAs? You know what Lamar can do. You know what Josh can do. You know what Patrick can do. You know what all of them can do. And people are just trying to almost criticize something that's not criticizable, that he got to do this, he got to do that, he got to worry about this. Listen, when you're on the top level and you got some melanin in your skin, they're going to criticize you. They're going to mess you. We're good, great friends. Mike is my dude. I've talked about it with Mike. It's a different level of criticism or coverage, let's say, not criticism. It's a different level of coverage when you're a top black quarterback in this world. And Lamar has to deal with it. And I'm pretty sure, as I'm seeing him move, I don't know, Lamar Jackson like that, but he understands the cross he has to carry with all of that stuff right now. And that's what it is. And you have to deal with that thing. Is it fair? No. Is it real? Yes.
I want to start here, Shannon, and just take it back 8 years ago when Lamar was drafted. On draft night, he was on the microscope. The camera was in his face the entire night. He was the last person chosen in the green room. The question marks were, can he even play quarterback in the NFL? Drafted 32nd overall by the Ravens. Here we are, 8 years. He's about to start his 9th season, so 8.5 years later. Lamar he's super exceeded all those expectations, in my opinion, especially if we're going to start from the question mark, if he could even play quarterback. And he's been one of the best quarterbacks. He's won 2 MVPs, right? I think they stole the third one that he should have had. He's won over 80 games in that span. Hell, he's lost to 2 of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game in his playoff run. He's 0-3 versus Mahomes and Josh Allen combined together. But those guys are going to go down as some of the greatest ever. Well, Patrick will definitely. Josh is still on the way, but if you compare, which most people do, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, that's the ultimate comparison. Yet you don't see that same conversation about Josh Allen and OTAs and questioning whether he's going to be and I hate to put them side by side, but that's the comparison. When you look at their record, both of them 69% winning. One is 80-36, the other is 88-39. When you look at the playoffs, Josh has played, what is it? Is it 15 playoff games? I think it's 8-7 or something like that. Probably fact check that, but I think it's somewhere around there. Lamar's played in 8. Josh he hasn't lost more, but they have neither both won the big games. Yet you still don't see them
in
that
that
same
MVPs did Josh have?
1.
How many does Lamar have?
2.
Why don't they criticize Josh?
Because we have to figure out, we have to flip it and put the camera on who they are. You have to put the camera on, but again, we're talking about it. It's an easy conversation. It's something to talk about, if you look at it that way, because Lamar doesn't deserve that sort of criticism, and Lamar doesn't care, quite frankly. I'm pretty sure he doesn't care. But it's a good conversation for us as players who's been in the trenches to be able to talk about, because we see it, right? We know what it is, because this man has always been there outside of the contract stuff. He's always been there. You never hear anything crazy. You never see anything stupid in the offseason with a lot of these other guys getting in trouble. Lamar shows up and he's been a leader from day one. And I think he deserves that sort of respect whenever they talk about it, more than, question whether he's going to be at an OTA.
Yeah, I think the OTA conversation is a crazy one. To use the start of OTAs in phase one, where there's no football truly being done, as some demarcation of how dedicated Lamar Jackson is to football, is a silly conversation. Declan Doyle, who's now the new offensive coordinator, needs to be collaborative with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson needs to have input. And to do that, you need to be there for parts of the offseason, and I get that. I just don't understand why he's the most criticized quarterback in football. And then maybe second would be Jaylen Herz, right? Because you think about it, when we talk about Lamar Jackson, we're talking about a 2-time NFL MVP, a 3-time first-team All-Pro quarterback, the first ever to be the first-team All-Pro quarterback, and somebody else win the MVP. And then you go to Jaylen Herz. This is a dude in 2 Super Bowls, has played extremely well, is a Super Bowl MVP, has taken his team to the playoffs every year as a starter, but these are the 2 people that get articles written about them from behind the scenes and anonymous sources. So my question is, what do they have to do to be treated like the other people who they've won more MVPs than, right? More MVPs than Josh Allen, more MVPs than Joe Burrow, right? More MVPs than players on the other side like Jared Goff and players like Justin Herbert, right? More MVPs than them. And if you're Jaylen Herz, you've won more Super Bowls than all of those people I also named. Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Matthew Stafford. The 3 people in the world that have Super Bowl rings and NFL MVPs. Outside of them, everyone should be criticized the same. And I would look at Lamar Jackson and say, because of your individual success, you should be criticized less. I would look at Jaylen Herz and say, because of your team success, you should be criticized less. So what are you telling them they have to do? You're telling them that you win the Super Bowl, or you have issues, or we have issues, or there's criticism that will be levied differently than it's levied on other quarterbacks. Those dudes just got to lock in and focus, go be themselves, and go win. Be authentically you. Do not change because people want you to be something different than you are, and go win games. That's all you can do. You cannot control the silly narratives about all the things you've already accomplished.
Woman, answer your question. Why? Because Lamar Jackson got a diamond grill, and because Jaylen Herz looked like Nino Brown after the game with the leather hat on.
Shut up, man.